What's up, Mr. Zargo? He's JC Zargo. I'm Holden Kushner. It is Nuke the Picks. Zargs coming off a one-on-one week, down just a little bit on the show. You're up on the year, though. So I was telling you this for the show. Sometimes I'll count up the units I'm up or down, but I'll go, when the hell did I make this bet? And then it's like, oh, yeah, it was Zargo. Nuke the Picks. Hey, great. Free money into my account. This is wonderful. We made these bets all the way back on Wednesday. How the hell am I supposed to remember? But you're doing well, buddy. You're doing well. We got Thursday night football with the Vikings and the Chargers. We got National Tight Ends Day on Sunday. If we want to buy into that narrative. You know what happened during National Tight Ends Day last year? I mean, it was just insane. Like, everybody scored a freaking touchdown last year. George Kittle went bananas. Kate Otten went bananas. So maybe when we do Nuke the Props on Thursday, me and Tyler will have some National Tight Ends Days props there. But going into this week, my friend, what do you think of this Vikings-Chargers game?
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a good game. These are two kind of trash teams, but I think they match up well. It'll make for entertaining football. There'll be some, I think there's some good plays to be had here. Mm-hmm. First thing I always like to look at are defenses. That kind of guides where I go with my bets from there. Great secondaries, both these teams, both top 10 in fewest yards allowed by air. Minnesota's 184 this season, Chargers 192. But then you look at the rushing, and that's where teams are scoring on these guys. Both sitting very similar numbers. Minnesota allowing 117. Chargers allowing 123. However, what really piqued my interest in this one is the last three games, the Chargers have allowed an average of 140 rushing yards. And you look at who they faced: Colts, Dolphins, Commanders. So good, but it's not like they're facing top three running backs here. So I like Minnesota to run all over this Chargers team. This Chargers team made the Dolphins look good. So if you can catch that 3.5, I do like Minnesota. Hoping we can get some rushing props here soon. Nothing yet as of Wednesday. Aaron Jones, I'm hoping makes his return. Jordan Mason could be an option, but I know that name's a bit of a dirty word in the Nuke the House circles.
No.
After last year?
Well, last year he killed us because the damn injury. But he also won us money, a lot of money, and then he took a lot of money. And then earlier this year he hit for us. But he's just been a little hit and miss. I've been disappointed.
For sure. I'll never forget that game.
Why?
Just because we had him laddered and he was hit his over under in I don't know, early in the first half, and it's we're making all the money. And then he just leaves the game.
Yeah, he got hurt. If you play for San Francisco, good luck betting. Outside of a McCaffrey receiving, it's just amazing how the injuries continue to pile up there. There's something I want to ask you about this game real quick, and then we can get going into your bets. But Justin Herbert's pass attempts is at 35.5. He had 50-something last week. They're averaging almost 40 pass attempts per game. In the last three, he's averaged 42. Now, again, it's kind of skewed because he went so bananas last week, but he's cleared this number time and time again. They have offensive line issues. Kamani Vidal is their running back. So I'm going to dig into that a little bit later today, but Herbert pass attempts at 35.5 is kind of looking sexy to me. Now, the question is, do you think they just run a ton and then they don't have to and the game stays that close, Zargo? Again, I think Justin Herbert pass attempts is something that I'll really be looking at heading into this game. So what do you got going on here? Give me a bet. Give me a bet or two.
I know. I definitely like that play because Chargers should be running the ball, but Harbaugh hasn't really been doing what he should do this season. So and especially 34.5 attempts as opposed to 23.5 completions. Completions, that's a horrible number. But, 34.5, he should sail over that. So I do like that play. Sticking with the theme of rushing, just because of what's available in the market right now, I'm liking Wentz over 2.5 attempts. So I was really torn between I think it's 10.5 rushing yards or 2.5 attempts. But seeing that I like Minnesota to win this game, I don't want to get boned by a knee. And seeing as how a knee would help the attempts, but not the yards, I'll take over 2.5 rushings yards. I saw it at numbers move. Earlier, it was minus 115. or you can go over 3.5 for plus 120 at BetMGM. Ooh, that's dicey. That's dicey.
So with Wentz, you're definitely getting there with the attempts if they can kneel down.
Right.
Right. And we got him at about 3.5 rushing attempts. So you don't want to take 3.5.
Yeah, it was 2.5 this morning at minus 115. I see it's moved to minus 122. So might have to pair that with something else now. Because I don't like 3.5. I think 2.5 was a great number.
Let me see what I got here though. So you got Wentz. The rushing attempts is the way you want to go, right?
Yeah.
Let me see what we got here. Yeah, 2.5 minus 22. That's not a good number.
It's okay. We don't like throwing down plays over 120.
No. So that's a fade. Stay away from it.
I just might find a way to throw into a SGP.
Okay. Well, I got a couple that I was looking at from this game. Aronde Gadsden Jr. is a guy that kind of caught my eye early in the season, a little inconsistent. Now Herbert's going to him a lot. And I was digging into it and I'm like, yeah, let's take his number 37.5. Let me wait and see, if some sharp guys actually like this. And then Keg puts out the 39.5. I'm like, let's go. Right. So it's National Tight Ends Day Sunday, not Thursday night. Do you like anything with Gadsden? And by the way, are you happy that I let you know that his dad is a Dolphins legend, given that you're a Dolphins fan?
Yeah, it's that was 25 years ago. And
he played with Dan Marino.
Pain and misery ever since. That's barely in my memorable life. And yeah. So I kind of blanked on that one. I'll wear that, but that was like 20 quarterbacks ago.
It was 20 quarterbacks, at least 20 quarterbacks ago. Yeah. So anything from the Thursday night game, we're officially betting.
You brought in. I do like Gadsden because he's just been a monster. I might just pair his receptions over 3.5 with Wentz, and you can probably get a nice, probably at least 150 on that, if not better.
So Gadsden 3.5 reception, and then Wentz what? 2.5 receiving or rushing attempts.
Yeah. I also don't mind Gadsden touchdown. As you said, National Tight End Week.
Yeah. He's a guy that can really bust it. He's a physical freak. And in all honesty, he kind of reminds me of Antonio Gates. He really does. He's so big. He's got a hell of a, what is that? The leap. What do they call that? The jump. I don't know. You'll have to help me out. Vertical jump. There you go. Because you can't go horizontal jump. That's not a very good jump. But yeah, he's got a vertical. He's fast. He's great catch run after the catch. He's been just spectacular. So I'm just trying to dig this up and get us a number on the Wentz 2.5 rushing attempt.
Not on FanDuel, so I had to pivot over to DraftKings.
Yeah, that's where I am right now. So Wentz 2.5 is minus 143 over there.
Jeez Louise.
And then what did you want? What did you want with Gadsden? How do you want to mix that up?
Over 3.5 receptions.
You want to go with his 3.5 receptions. Okay. Gadsden, 3.5. He's 4.5 on DraftKings. So you can't even bet that.
Plus 162.
Plus 162 official play. What book?
DK, only one that has it up right now. I think FanDuel will probably have a better number once, I don't know, those props are there. But just giving the people a number, plus 162, I didn't expect it to be that good. So I'll bet it right now.
All right. Gadsden over 3.5 receptions. Wentz over 2.5 rushing attempts. Plus 162.
Yeah.
You're looking to get in on it. You're looking to get in on Wentz, and we found a way to do it. So that's good. I'm glad we got that one. I guess we could look at a Gadsden touchdown. I don't want to force it, though.
I'm not stacking that into the parlay. I hate doing that, but at 2-1, that might be worth, you got a little boost here, something like that. That's definitely worth a look for the people.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I just don't want to jump on a guy that is coming off another big game. But at this point, Herbert's chucking the football, right? He's not going to stop throwing. We're getting 2-1 on a guy to score a touchdown. The yards got jacked up a whole bunch on Gadsden, but I'm going to go in with you after the show. I will bet it. That'll be an official play. Gadsden over 3.5 receptions. Wentz over 2.5 rush attempts at plus 162. Okay. Let's go on to your next game then. You want to go to the Giants and the Eagles this week. Are you buying into the Giants after the way they played for 3 quarters against the Broncos on the road?
Dude, I have no interest in buying in on the Giants, but they're making it really hard for me not to. Like, it just seems so flashy. It just seems not sustainable. But you look at what they've done, you look at the body of work, and it's hard to deny it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting 7 in Philly, and I just don't. That's the other problem too. I don't know what to make of Philly. Like, did they right the ship, or did they just, get a nice lay down in Minnesota? Just curious what you think about this.
I mean, Jackson Dart has just been spectacular, right? So the Broncos are talking about now he's too flashy. And then my guy for the defensive player of the year, Nick Benito, he was even talking a little trash. And he had an interview the other day and he's like, wow, he's a lot better than we thought he was. So Jackson Dart is keeping them in a lot of games. The Eagles, something's off about him. Trying to figure that out. And then with the Giants defensively, they played really well again for 3 quarters. 7.5 is a lot of points in a divisional game, isn't it?
It is. It is. How did he have 283 yards on 15 completions?
They had some big plays.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just.
Now they beat the hell out of the Eagles too, 34-17.
And hey, considering it's a divisional opponent, I don't know if that makes me like them more or less. That's the other thing. Like, are the Eagles really going to allow the Giants to come to the bank and embarrass them again? I don't think so, but they might not have a choice.
So you're a little iffy on this. Little iffy.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a play yet, but that +7's mighty enticing.
All right, I'm going to go to a team that we were just talking about, the Broncos. So last week was J.K. Dobbins' week. We didn't hit it the week before. Last week, he just absolutely blew through it. But I'm not going to go to Dobbins right now, even though there's no team that's worse target on the ground than the Dallas Cowboys. Their secondary is a freaking mess, too. Their secondary is such a disaster. And Cortland Sutton, except for one game, has just really nuked. He's been tremendous. He's the number 1 wide receiver here. He had that one game against the Jets where he got held to 1 catch. And outside of that, he's the number 1 guy. He's gone 10, 6, 8 on the targets. He's cleared 80 yards in every single game except for the Jets game. Now, my only question is, and I already threw this in the chat, and I was just talking about their last 5 games, but my only question is, do I ladder this guy? Do I ladder him up to 80? Because he has just been spectacular. They signed him to the new deal, and it's actually 2 games where he hasn't gotten there. He had 6 yards at Indy, and he had 17 at the Jets. Outside of that, this guy's making 5, 6, 8 catches, and he's a yak daddy too. I love it. 20, 30 yard for his longest reception. So I'm already in on his number at 60.5 on FanDuel. But what do you think about laddering this guy at this point? Now, for 70, you're only getting +128, but you're starting to push the 2-to-1 range on 80. And Cortland Sutton's just been the man. So while we love to run, everybody loves to run on Dallas, they can also be beaten through the air. Give me your breakdown of that one. Am I off base here?
No, I don't think so. It's almost like, I think Denver's just going to have their way with Dallas. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't think Dallas is good. And it's in Denver. And my only fear with that is just how much is Bonus going to passing when they can just have their way on the ground. I mean, Dobbins has been such an animal. Dallas, one of the worst run defenses in the league. So it's like they run up a score. Absolutely. I think everyone hits their overs. But when I was taking a peek at this one, I was more intrigued by Dobbins' rushing prop. But I mean, if we learned anything from Keg, why just take the over under? Go get the plus money. It's unlikely he's right, just carries over the over. If he's going to go over, he's going to go over. So take the plus money.
So a little 70, a little 80 piece.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll look into that later today as well. Nuke the props will be on Thursday. We'll drop that one and I'll have that. But I already locked in Sutton at 60.5. This is one he should go through. The only reason I don't want to go to Dobbins at this point, again, running backs just completely shred the Cowboys. There's no better matchup. Dobbins is one of those guys that'll sit here and he'll run for 2 and he'll run for 3. And then he'll bust off a nice 35-yard run and he'll get there. So, with him, it might be a better live betting opportunity because he's probably going to get 15, 16 carries. The question is, does he average 4 a game for a carry? If he only averages 4 a carry, he's not going to get there. If he averages that 4.5 a carry, then all of a sudden we're right in the wheelhouse with Dobbins. So I have to sit and really marinate on that.
I mean, they just take his longest rush, because he's going to break.
Yeah, but if he breaks the 40-yarder, right? How is he not getting another 30 yards
Right now I'm curious. I hope other books put up a number. Right now, it's minus 125, over 15.5 yards for J.K. Dobbins' longest rush.
Oh my God. Where's that at? I don't even see that.
DK.
So DK has, because he has been a big play guy this year. He has busted some runs.
Yeah, he's on the Jets was the only time he didn't hit that number.
Yeah, and that whole game was a debacle for the Broncos offense.
It's in Europe, doesn't count.
Yeah, it counts. It counts. I mean, what was that, 15-13? What a disgusting football game that was. Early in the morning in another country. Yeah, I'd like to forget that I actually watched that game. Listen, Dobbins is a guy that's going to be on my radar. Anybody else that's at least on your radar? Any other teams on your radar this week?
Yeah, I mean, there's one game that just perfectly fits the mold for just a narrative auto bet.
Yeah.
And that is the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, what's going on with the Packers?
I mean, they're winning games. Like, you can't fault them.
Yeah.
The tie with Dallas was weird. The game against Cleveland was weird. They're not covering, but they're winning, right? They took care of Arizona. They took care of a bad Cincinnati team. But Mike Tomlin, a dog at home, we all know. You got to bet that. Aaron Rodgers, second revenge game this season. I see him lighting it up. Lighting it up's a strong word. You never really know with the Steelers because he might crack a win with 170 passing yards. But I don't see any way Green Bay wins this game. They're sneaking out wins barely.
You're taking the money line?
Huh?
You taking a money line?
Absolutely. Plus
wow. Whoa, You're dropping your ball bag on this one. I like this. Little Steelers action at home, huh? Whoa, with Green Bay coming to town. You're getting a plus 155.
Even better.
Yeah, well, offshore it's 155, 150 at DraftKings.
Perfect.
Okay. Listen, man, that's a ballsy play, but as you know, I tail and then I forget, and then I look in my account and it's green. So I like your plays, man. I like them a lot. Let's go recap what we have. Okay. And then I think I'm going to, if we had to bet a tight end to score this weekend on Sunday, I'm either going Otten or Kittle. I know Kittle just blew everybody up here on that game where they were playing. It was a nationally televised game and the boys were on him to score a touchdown. I tailed. I was like, that's a great play. And he really didn't even play. He really didn't even get targeted is what I should say. George Kittle on National Tight Ends Day, buddy. That might be a narrative play. I don't play many narrative plays, but I'll tell you this much, dude. Let's see here. Kyle Pitts, 2 touchdowns last year. Cade Otton, 2 touchdowns last year. And Njoku, Kelsey, both scored. Laporta, Brock Wright, Nate Atkins, Adam Troutman, Mark Andrews, Tyler Conklin. I mean, even the dogs of the tight end position were scoring touchdowns. Tucker Kraft, Evan Ingram, Kittle went for 6 for 128 in the touchdown. So a lot of guys going off. If you just had to pick one, and we're not making this an official bet right now. This is just kind of fun. If you had to do that, who would you pick for your touchdown on National Tight Ends Day?
It's got to be Kittle. He's not going to have another dud of a game in a dome in Houston.
Yeah.
We saw what happened to Houston against Seattle. I just think I'm fine making that an official play. And I'm actually looking right now because they might have numbers up. I want to
know who I like. The other guys in your game, Tucker Kraft. If you ever wanted to do a negative correlation play, Tucker Kraft to score a touchdown, according to the site that I use for my projections, Kraft has the highest projection for a touchdown this week out of any tight end. So I think Tucker Kraft's got to be in there. I like your Gadsden. I like, and the other guy, I guess, would have to be Kittle at this point. So those would be the 3 that would be in my pool. And maybe even Dalton Kincaid. He's got a nice matchup against Carolina. Carolina's played much better at home. And I think we can actually look at targeting the Bills in the running game with Rico. I know Chuba's back, so it's a little bit different. I don't know if they have dropped it as we're doing this show, but the Bills are a team that have been completely gashed on the ground. And that's
Miami's the only team that allows more rushing yards than the Bills.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, and we're all on Bijan. Like if you're, I bet you by the time we officially give this out on Nuke the Props, now Keg threw it in and I threw it in. I was at a soccer practice, Zargo, and I had really bad reception, and DK was just taking every minute of their lives to load. So I went to FanDuel. I hit it at 88.5. Then I came back. It was still at 86.5 at DraftKings. So I hit it. This thing's up at 93.5 now. And it kind of reminds me of Judkins last week. Same spot, right? And Judkins went from 81.5, which is where we got in on him, to finishing almost at 100. That's how crazy that line moves. I think Bijan going to be very close to 100. And I also took a Tyler Algier touchdown, a little sprinkle on him at plus 135.
Bijan is minus 230 to score a touchdown.
Well, that's why you bet us 2. But the problem with the 2 is it's only plus 240.
225 right now, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. But yeah, that's another bet. Like if you're watching this and Bijan is at 88.5 or less, I think you can go there. I don't know if I want to bet that number 7 or 8 yards off once it moves into the mid 90s, but Bijan to get 90s should be a layup. That is just a disgusting defense. And they've quit on McDaniel. I mean, you're the Dolphins whisperer. This is a freaking S show. What a horrible, horrible year this has been in Miami. And he did
look like whisperer
last week.
I said last week on the show, take the Dolphins against the Browns. I'm not a whisperer. I'm objective when it comes to my team, but I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah. It happens. But here's the bottom 5 teams rushing EPA. Cowboys 28. Want to figure out something with Dobbins. Chargers 29. You're trying to get rushing yards on the running backs there. Bills 30th. I'm waiting for Rico the Freako props to drop. Then it's your Dolphins, and the Giants are dead last. Like, in order to get in on Saquon, though, he looks like a corpse. And I know you're saying it's the offensive line, but he touched the ball over 300 times last year. He just doesn't look like the same guy. He doesn't.
Not at all.
So it's a great matchup. He didn't take advantage of it last time, a couple weeks ago.
Dude, his number's still 79.5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking it might go down far enough to make it attractive. Who is touching that?
Well, who's touching that to the over? Touching it to the under might be the way to go.
Yeah, you can go under 81.5 at BetMGM.
Yeah, it is not comfortable at all to bet unders, even on Saquon Barkley. But what we've seen from him this year since, what was it, game 1 or 2? He just ain't the same guy, Zargo. So that might be an under bet this week. And then you see him bust a 75-yarder against the Giants.
100%.
All right, I'm dead.
You almost just, if you could take the under, go ahead and hedge with like a TD for him.
All right, pal. Give me your best bets for Thursday and Sunday. I'll throw my 2 out, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I think that parlay is solid. I'll post it on the sheet. I'm just going to wait a couple hours to see if we can get more numbers, see if we can get a better number elsewhere. Ogden over 3.5 catches, Wentz over 2.5 attempts.
Okay.
But the more I look at it, the more I like Minnesota plus 3.5.
Minnesota 3.5. I'm going Cortland Sutton over 60.5 at FanDuel. I think that I'm very close to pulling especially after talking with you, I'm very close to pulling the trigger on 70 and 80. I'm going to get with Keg on this later in the day, though. And then Bijan over 88.5. I'll tell you right now, I think he gets in the box twice. I think Algier gets in the box too. But like if Bijan doesn't get there, so be it. It's just you should be targeting 100 yards with this guy. Problem is they're not giving you enough of a plus money price. And then Sutton this week, he's just going to keep getting peppered. He's the number 1. When it's all said and done, 60.5 is too low. Too low. Good stuff. Nuke the props will drop on Thursday, but Nuke the picks is in the books. Want to let everybody know, if you are not a member, it's a limited time. We only got a few more days of this. 30% off your package and 1 free week. NukeTheHouse.com/pricing. Pick any plan. 30% off. 1 free week with the code NUKE30. Zargs, it's always a pleasure doing this show with you.
Always a pleasure.
I will be hitting the books after this and tailing your plays, and I'll await word from you when you hit that Gadsden Wentz. But I think at plus 162, it might be worth it just to go on right now. And I think absolutely. For Zargs, I'm Holden, Nuke 30, NukeTheHouse.com/pricing. Booyakasha.